Hi, everybody. Welcome. I can't speak today. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our live here on YouTube. Our topic today is Speak Better English. Okay, so I'm learning how to use this live platform. I think there's one person here. If you are here and you can hear me, if you would write something in the chat box, that would be awesome. I'm just learning this new platform. I've gone live several times over on Instagram. If you haven't caught any of those lives, I have several live videos that you can watch, the recordings. Okay, hi Alte, hi Tiana, welcome. I know Tiana is where you're calling from or where you're listening from. If you're listening, let us know in the comments where you are listening from and what your native language is. Tiana has a big smiley face. So there are many aspects to learning how to speak better. We need to learn grammar. We need to learn vocabulary. There's so many things that we have to learn. But I'm sure you've heard many people say that one of the most important things is that you practice speaking. Hello, welcome. I can see a few different people now in the comments. The most recent person who said hello, I can't pronounce your name. It looks like maybe you're calling in from Russia. So welcome. So what I have done is I've taken some notes this week of some things that I have heard people say, some things that I have helped people with in individual or group classes. I just got off a really fun group class. At the end of it, we had a great conversation. I had to leave the conversation so I could come over here and hang out with you all for a little bit. So I want to share a couple of the things that I've heard this week and see if these are new things to you or things that you've heard before. And if you have questions, go ahead and put those questions in the comments. And or if you have questions about something else, you can put those in the comments as well. So the first phrase that I heard this week that is common, but maybe a little challenging to understand, is to get cold feet. I'm going to see if I can write it here. To get cold feet. Is this a phrase that you have heard before? Or whether or not you've heard it before, do you have any idea what it means when we say that we have gotten cold feet or someone has gotten cold feet? What does it mean when we say that? Or can you use it in an example? I'm trying to remember where I heard it this week. I took a few notes, but I didn't jot down where I heard it. When I say I didn't jot down where I heard it, I mean I didn't write it down. When we say to jot something down, we mean we didn't take a quick note. That's also a very common phrase that we use. So to get cold feet means either that you've become nervous or you've changed your mind or you don't want to do something that you had said you would do. It's very common to hear people say this about getting married or having children. It's a big decision, and maybe you decide to get married and you're excited about it, and then you got cold feet, meaning maybe you still want to do it, but you're nervous or you don't know if it's a good idea or you're scared. See if you can make a sample sentence or an example sentence and put it in the comments, and I'll help you with that. If you put that in there, I'll help you with your grammar. Okay, another one that I heard this week was to gloss over it. To gloss over it. Do you know what this one means? This phrase, to gloss over something. See if you can guess what it means, or if you can think of what it might mean. I'll give you an example. When I heard that this week, someone said, I read the article, but I kind of glossed over it. So what do they mean when they say, I read the article, but I kind of glossed over it? So what that can mean is, I didn't read all of the article, or maybe I read the whole thing, but I didn't read all of the details. Another way that we say this is I skimmed over it. Is very similar. But to gloss over something, we can use in another way. If we're talking about something with someone and we don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it, we can gloss over it. In other words, we can just say a little bit about it and go on to the next thing. Maybe we don't want to emphasize whatever we're glossing over, or maybe it's something we don't really want to talk about. We need to address it. We need to speak about it, but we don't want to. So we gloss over it. We say just a little bit about it and go on to the next thing so that the person will pay attention to the next thing. So that's another way that we can use to gloss over it. I'm going to put the first example here for you. I read the article, but I just glossed over it, or I skimmed it. Okay. The next one that I wrote down, and I'm curious, I just want to say that if you have questions, don't hesitate to interrupt me. You can write your questions in the comments, or if you have a word that you would like me to help you pronounce, this is a great time to do that because I'm here live with you. I can help you with that pronunciation. Okay, this was an interesting thing I heard on a video this week. The person was talking about a space that was clear full of things. It was clear full of things. What do you think we mean when we say it was clear full? It was clear full of things. Do you think that there was a lot of things, or there were a lot of things in the space? Or do you think there was full in some parts, but clear space in the other parts? This one can be a little tricky. When we say something is clear full, we mean it is completely full. Welcome to those that just joined us. It is completely full. So my glass of water is not quite clear full. If it was full all the way up to here, I could say, oh my gosh, it's clear full. It's going to spill. Don't fill my glass up so much. It's clear full. I will spill it. Okay, I see a comment. I'm sorry, but I must leave. My son playing out of home. No problem. Thanks for joining us, Alte. I'm glad that you were able to spend some time with us, and you can listen to the recording over on YouTube. For any of you that just joined us, or any that have to leave early, if you don't get to hear the whole live while it's live, you can go over to YouTube and listen to the recording. All right. So on the theme of clear full, we can say, I lost my train of thought. We are clean out of something. So if, for instance, the other day, Tanya and I ran out of rice, I could have said we are clean out of rice, meaning we don't have any rice, none, zero, zilch. If you ran out of rice and you maybe have just a little bit left, but not enough for the recipe that you want to make, you might say, oh, we're out of rice, when really you have a little bit, but not enough for what you want to make. But if you have no rice, you would say, we are clean out of rice. We are clean out of rice. And on that idea, You could say somebody cleaned you out. They cleaned us out means in some way they took everything we had. So it can be used in a positive way or a negative way. For instance, if you are selling something, let's say that you are selling books and you have customers come and they cleaned you out, you have no books left. We had a great sale. They cleaned us out. It means they bought all of the books. They bought everything we had. It's a good thing. They cleaned us out. You can use it in a negative way as well. If somebody breaks into your house, for instance, and they take everything you have, they're thieves, they're criminals, they take everything in your house, you can say, oh my gosh, they cleaned us out, meaning they took everything. In this particular form, they don't have to take absolutely everything in your house, but if they took everything that was valuable, you could still say they cleaned us out. All right, those are some of the examples that I have for you today. Some tips I have for you on speaking better and using this video to speak better is to go back to the recording. I will be posting that soon. Go back to the recording and write down the phrases that were new for you. Then write some examples of those particular words or phrases and practice those words and phrases in a context that's meaningful for you. In other words, it's something that is happening in your life. So if there wasn't anyone who actually robbed your house, that might not have much meaning for you. But if you are a salesperson and you would like somebody to buy everything that you have, you would like them to clean out the store. So write something that is meaningful to you and then practice it. Thank you, Tiana. Thank you for the comment. And if you're listening to this as a recording in general, you can do the same thing. But if you are able to come on and be live with us, then you have the opportunity to ask questions about what we are, the topic we're talking about, or the vocabulary, or the new phrases, the pronunciation, any of the things like that. Okay, so our new, I lost my train of thought. Our new, not sequence, our new, I can't think, I'm sorry. Our new, I completely lost my train of thought. To lose your train of thought, I'm going to write that here. To lose your train of thought means that you completely forgot what you were going to say. To say. It happens to me every now and then. I guess that's part of going live. But I remembered now. This new series of videos, this is our second one in the series. You can look for these videos to come out live. I will announce them over on Instagram. So if you're not following us on Instagram, you can go over there. We have the same name there, English Coach 3TS. Follow us there and keep an eye on our stories. We will announce the lives there, but generally speaking, they will be on Saturdays. And I also have lives over on Instagram if you want to watch us there. Also, you can see new videos coming out here on Saturdays as well. Okay, there's another comment. How to tell a story in English with tense shifting, switching back and forth. Please help me with this. I'm not exactly sure that I understand. Do you mean when you're reading, it's difficult to follow if the tenses are shifting? Or do you mean when you're speaking, do the tenses change? Which of those are you talking about? Welcome, Mantresh Singh. I'm glad to have you here. So I think that how to tell a story in English. I think you're talking about when you're speaking, when should you change tenses? I think a great way to work on this is to practice doing this when you're writing. And then if you can, work with a teacher, or maybe you have a conversation exchange partner or someone who can help you with that. If you write it out first and think about if you're talking about something, in which tense, because when we speak, we change tenses. So if I'm talking about something that happened today, but then it has something to do with something that happened yesterday. So for instance, today I am drinking a cup of chai tea, but yesterday I drank a cup of chai tea. So that's a simple form. That's a simple example, what I think you're talking about. But if you will practice writing it and then practice reading it, then that will help your speaking. I see you're saying while speaking. Hello, Ram. Welcome. A lot of people, and myself included, I think that we resist writing. I don't like writing in my second language. I'm learning Spanish. I love writing in English, but I really resist writing in Spanish because it's very difficult and I make a lot of mistakes. But the number one sorry, I'm having a hard time speaking clearly, but there's 4 aspects of speaking: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Reading, writing, listening, and speaking. The one that helps you the most with speaking is writing, because you have to produce it. It's easier, of course, to correct yourself when you're writing, but the way to improve your speaking with that is to write it, get it corrected somehow, and then speak it. Or you could use an example that you have and speak it out loud, kind of look at the ways that they're changing. So Montresh says, for dramatic effects, we are doing it. Yes, yes. Can I do a lesson about punctuation? Yes, that's a great idea. I will write a note here and we can talk about punctuation in an upcoming live. Punctuation is a great. Oh, you're a C1 level. Okay. So you have a really great grasp of the language. Montresh, do you have a teacher or a speaking partner, someone that you can work with? Because of course that makes it easier. A better, I hate to say better, but an easier way to practice. In many ways, it is a better way to practice. Ram, when you ask about a punctuation lesson, do you mean like beginning punctuation or intermediate or advanced punctuation? What are you thinking? We have just a few minutes here. If anyone has another question, I would love to know what your questions are. See what we are doing with the end of this live here while I'm waiting to see if those of you who've already written have anything else that you want to write. I will just mention that we offer both individual and group classes. Our group classes at this time are on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. We just added the Wednesday class. I just finished with the Saturday class right before this. They are very fun, but they also are a great way to improve your speaking skills, and they're very affordable. So if you want to know more about those, you can send me a message here, or you can send me a message over on Instagram. Okay, Ram is saying like where to put commas. That's a great question. And Montresh has been in a convent school since kindergarten. No wonder you have become so fluent. How to be fluent in complex situations without preparation. The best way to do that is to put yourself in that situation as often as possible. In other words, put yourself in situations where you need to speak without preparing. I had a student actually say that's one of the reasons they started taking the group classes, because in individual classes, which can also be good for this, the group classes are very inexpensive, and because the class has many people, you can't prepare for the way the conversation is going to go. So you have to think on your feet. I'll put that in the comments here. Think on your feet, which means you have to speak without preparation. That's exactly what it is. Ram says, I have a delay. Sorry for responding late. No worries. That's just part of going live. So everyone, thank you for joining me today. Thank you to all of you who are listening to this recorded. I'm looking forward to seeing you on our next live. Think of the questions that you have. Think of the things you'd like to practice and bring them to the next live. And I will see you over there. Talk to you soon. You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye-bye.